So I did a video a little while ago about mothers who abuse and smother their sons. And I have a commenter here who says, what do you do as the son who is a recipient of this? Hi, my name is Dr. Natalie Jones. I'm a licensed therapist. So I want to, start with a disclaimer. I don't know you. I don't know your mother or your situation. So everyone's situation is different. This is general advice and general tips. So I would say the first thing that you would want to do is you want to get you want to definitely try to get therapy if you can, just so that you can feel empowered. You can start to learn how to communicate and implement boundaries very effectively. And a therapist will help you with all of that, as well as explore like themes and dynamics and how this comes up for you. So I would definitely start there. And once you have the tools and tips you need, I would definitely move on to step two, which is communicating that with your mother. You have to communicate and implement those boundaries and say, hey, you know what? I don't like that. That's not appropriate. Or I have a girlfriend now and I really don't like when you're encroaching on my personal business with her. So I have to separate the two of you. Just draw that boundary, or you can just make that boundary and not necessarily communicate it until it comes up. So an example of that would be, your mother is maybe expecting you to tell her all the details of your life and you just stop doing it. You just stop, you start to withdraw and keep your private information private, because she can't be trusted, or you give her an inch and she sort of takes a mile. So I would start with that. Just sort of implementing those boundaries, taking those steps towards detachment. If you are living with your mother, I would definitely, try to, if you can, make the time and energy and effort in saving your money, and moving away from your mother, even if it's a small place, getting a roommate, doing something where you're putting some space and some distance between you and she. If your mother is still very much physically and or psychologically or any other types of abuse, you do have the right to say, you know what, this stops. I'm not doing this with you anymore. Don't put your, don't put your hands on me. That's not appropriate for you to put your hands on me. If you do that again, you could say, I'm going to have to, you could say that I'm going to have to maybe contact someone, whether that be like law enforcement or something like that. If that's where you want to take it, you could say that, like, don't put your hands on me anymore. It's not appropriate for you to do that. You can communicate how you feel without putting your hands on me. Don't call me out of my name anymore. It's not appropriate. My name is such and such. You can only address me like that. Don't call me out of my name. It's not appropriate. It's not funny. And what do you intend? What are your intentions by, doing that, by disrespecting me? What is the point that you're trying to communicate here? Another solution is to withdraw and go no contact or low contact. Have things be a little bit more on your terms in terms of communication. So, whereas it's not communicating every day, for example, you may be communicating once or twice per week via phone call, and you have a specified amount of time for that phone call. So that might be like 15 minutes. I can only speak to you once a week for 15 minutes, and then that's it. But you want to start to create some space, and detach, and just sort of withdraw. But also, if you can, and if the relationship allows it, you want to start to communicate those boundaries effectively. Both of you have to be in a space to both give and receive. healthy communication. So if you're not in that space, you may want to take some time before you're able to do that, before, because sometimes what tends to happen is when you're trying to effectively communicate, somebody says something and then things go too far, things get heated, people say things that they don't mean. So that would be the case there. But anyhow, so I hope that helps, and that those are some tips to get you started. It's not meant to be, again, this is not meant to be all of the solutions for you. You will need to meet with someone that can give you maybe tailored solutions and support that's specific to your particular dynamic. Hope that helps. Thanks so much for asking.